For our interview with Pope Francis, we also wanted to take a pulse of the Catholic Church back home in the U.S. So we asked Catholics in cities across the country about their relationship with the Church, how they feel about this Pope, and what message they want to hear from him.
I would describe the Pope as transformative. He's a one-of-a-kind papacy.
I think he has done a great job talking about the marginalized, the poor, the care for the environment.
We support him. He is our guide.
Like the church he leads, Americans' opinions of Pope Francis are diverse.
He's got some things that I agree with, some things maybe I don't agree with.
We always need popes that challenge our way of thinking, and I think he's doing that.
While a majority of American Catholics view Francis favorably, many we spoke with thought the church needed to evolve. 83% of U.S. Catholics want the church to allow the use of contraception, and more than half think the church should recognize gay marriage.
I think they do need to bring women into the church.
They need to ordain women as priests, and they need to allow priests to marry.
Everything changes, and sometimes I think the church needs to change too.
A recent survey found more Americans were leaving the Catholic Church at higher rates than any other religion.
I feel like I could just be spiritual anywhere. I don't really necessarily have to go to a church and I feel like that's the old school way of thinking.
I think there's been a lot of bad news about the Catholics, the religion, about the priests in general, and I think people have turned around and walked away from that.
We have a lot of young people that grew up in the Catholic Church, but they don't feel that they're getting the message.
They feel they're not accepted. They feel they might be ostracized. They feel that they don't belong to the church.
We spoke with Patrick Egan, who left the Catholic Church as a teenager, only to come back in search of a community. He's now a leader at a local parish.
Does the Catholic Church feel different under Pope Francis?
Yes, Francis is really trying to open the door to participation by people who have been traditionally outside of the hierarchy.
He blames strict adherence to ideology for the decline, but says that can change.
What do you think it would take for the Catholic Church to be able to reconnect with Americans?
They need to meet Americans where they are. We are a very secular society. And so if the church can figure out a way to help people understand how a spiritual journey and a faith community can really make one's life more rich and meaningful, that, I think, is also part of the story.
And Nikki Battiste joins us now. And Nikki, so many of the people we spoke with here thought that Pope Francis has been much more inclusive. What did you learn?
The feeling is very much the same here in the U.S. Pope Francis has made a concerted effort to soften the message of the Catholic Church. It's an approach that has angered some of the more conservative followers, but it's part of the Pope's plan to make all feel welcome. Norah?
We also asked him about those conservative bishops. You'll hear about that later. And Nikki Battiste, thank you.